What's going on, guys? So I'm very happy to share I'm about 1 month away from finally releasing the first public demo for the Forgotten Village. For those of you who are new to this channel, the Forgotten Village is a fantasy sandbox RPG where your goal is to fix a broken down abandoned village. Gather resources, complete quests, earn new tools, and help out the villagers to restore the Forgotten Village back to its former glory. In last month's devlog, I implemented systems for mail, reputation, player housing, and achievements. Since then, I've had over 10 people test the game and give me feedback to help improve the upcoming public demo even further. I just finished implementing all the suggestions and feedback on January 10th, so in this video I'll be going over all the improvements I've made over the past month based on the feedback and suggestions I received. However, before I get into that, let me quickly start off by showing this Christmas gift I received. My sister took screenshots of my game as a reference and painted full cover artwork for my game. She was able to capture many of the features in the game, including fixing, farming, mining, foraging, catching insects, and more. She actually was also one of the testers and gave me some ideas to further improve the character creator hairstyles. So I created some new 3D hairstyle models based on her references she gave me and reworked the UI a bit to show hairstyle preview sprites instead of just numbers. Now, upon starting a new game, the character will show with their assigned hairstyle, shirt color, pants color, etc. After the first game cutscene, some of my game testers were unsure of the controls, so I created a tutorial tip system to trigger at necessary times in the early game. For example, if the player is using a gamepad or keyboard and mouse, it will show the proper game controls infographic accordingly. Once the player picks up wood for the first time, another tip will pop up to show which NPC to speak to next. In addition, I created a location marker system to show the player distance from the NPC target. I also animated the overhead NPC quest exclamation point to better catch the player's eye. When the player reaches the NPC and receives a hammer, a tip will pop up with a brief description of that item, as well as a tip to show how to equip an item or tool in the action bar. For players who like linear progression, upon accepting quests, the camera will pan over to the location, and a green ring will appear in that area. However, for players who like to explore and figure out things on their own, I added white rings around fixable objects. This way players can explore, fix, and complete quests in whichever order they choose. So for example, the player can fix the well if they have enough stone, even if no one asked them to do that yet. And that might happen to be, the 7th item in the quest list, but they can complete it, on quest 3. So in addition to the above, I added other quality of life features based on the feedback I received. First of all, I added a life bar on destructible objects such as rocks and trees, rather than showing damage as text, which I had previously. Secondly, players can hold down the use item button now to continuously swing or use a weapon. Third, I added a sensitivity option for rotating the camera. Some thought it was too slow, while others thought it was too fast, so we decided just giving the player the option, as other games do, was the best choice. Fourth, the inventory now has a quick move button and auto sort features, so the auto sort will organize all items by item type and will also auto stack similar stackable items such as mushrooms or raw materials such as wood. And this becomes more useful later on in the game when the player is going to have a lot more items. In addition, I added functionality and UI changes based on a PlayStation controller being used. Prior to this, I had everything set up for keyboard and mouse and an Xbox controller. So I had to rework the joystick inputs as well as add sprites for the triangle and square buttons on the PlayStation controller. If the keyboard and mouse are detected, the action slots will now show numbers in the upper left corner, and the mouse cursor will no longer show unless the UI is active and the keyboard and mouse are being used. And then finally, by popular demand, I spent a few days implementing a jump system as well. Half the people who played it asked if they could jump, so I figured it was a must-add, even if only for the first demo. And once I got the animations finished and jump programmed, I created an obstacle detector system to prevent the player from jumping through the terrain or walls or, falling off the nav mesh. And after testing the game myself and getting feedback from a lot of people, I really can't wait to release the game to the public. Right now, the final 2 steps are, number 1, complete my Steam checklist so I could finally publish my Steam page, along with the downloadable link to the demo. And number 2, create an official gameplay trailer for the Forgotten Village. Thank you to everyone who has been following this journey. It's been a fun 6 years, and I can't wait until you can all play it in the next month. As always, thanks for watching, and feel free to comment below.